this edition of KIFF. We hope you've enjoyed the content that we've created so far and that you're looking forward to the 24th of June as much as we are when the festival gets underway here in Kingston upon Thames. Now, as I'm sure you know by now, the festival is very proud to have some great industry names and professionals connected to the campaign. And today, joining me here, we have a very established and successful actor, Jason Wong. And Jason has appeared in TV series such as Strangers and Silent Witness, as well as hit film The Gentleman, directed by Guy Ritchie. So we're very happy to have you here today. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you for having me.
So I have so many questions for you.
Yeah, go
but
ahead.
First and foremost, I have to say happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
What did you do for your birthday yesterday?
I sat at home with my family and ordered KFC, and we had a nice bottle of red wine. That's what I do. I make my family do that every year.
Sounds like a good day to me.
Fun.
So welcome to the team. You're now officially an ambassador for KIFF. Talk to us about kind of what that means to you.
Well, it's nice working with people like yourselves and working with KIFF and trying to build a film festival in this area. And I think there's lots of people, it's got a real strong community vibe about it, and it's got a strong family vibe, and I'm always up for helping people start something that allows people to have a platform to express their artistry and their work. So that's something that really excites me, and that's why I really want to support this whole movement and make sure it does really well, especially when we have the festival in June.
Having worked with a director such as Guy Ritchie, I wanted to ask kind of, how did you find that experience as an actor? And was there anything you kind of noticed or anything that intrigued you working with someone like him?
Guy's mind he's so well versed as a painter and as a director. He knows his shots. He knows once he's got it. He knows the style he wants to shoot in. He knows once you've hit that performance, you might just do one or two takes, and he knows what to extract from that. Wow. And you have to trust the process. Now, a lot of people might get a bit thrown by that because they go, oh, wait, whoa, I'm just warming up. He went, no, you got it, done. Because a lot of actors tend to overthink things as well. That's myself, I definitely do. But sometimes he might change a nuance in the lines. He might change the lines completely. He might change the whole scene completely. On day one of The Gentleman, we did this lovely scene with Matthew McConaughey and Henry Golding, and there was just something not right about that whole scene that he didn't feel worked well. And then he stopped, and then he got his computer back out, and then we rewrote the whole scene. It took about half an hour, rewrote the whole scene. Now, with a lot of actors, it's all about preparation, and some actors will have pages and pages of notes of prep. And all of a sudden, you've just changed the word, you've changed the sentence, you've changed a whole different meaning that person might not see. So that can throw a lot of people off. And I love working like that because it keeps you fresh, it keeps you listening, it allows you to have to respond at a nice time frame. So his way of working is, he's a composer, so he'll hear certain things. If it doesn't work for his ear, he'll switch it up. And you have to be very free and ready for that process.
It's so kind of, intriguing to hear about the filmmaker and actor dynamic and relationship. Yeah. I'm sure there are so many filmmakers watching this who will be interested to know about that. But just off camera, we were talking kind of about acting and your experience with kind of training at drama school. Yeah. I was just wondering, and it's quite a broad question, so feel free to kind of pinpoint anything from your experiences, but do you have any advice for kind of young and upcoming actors who may be watching this?
Yeah, make your own films, write your own stories, go to the theatre, go watch short films, go watch long films, so like full-on cinematic films, go watch foreign films. Watch that. I think we get access to that now a lot more with Netflix, and go see different ways people tell stories. I know Korean dramas are huge right now, but go watch a Hindi film, go watch a film developed in South America. Don't just stick to this niche of Western British style of storytelling, because as we've seen, like Parasites and Squid Games, like they've taken a whole different style of how we storytell.
And I'm so glad you kind of brought up taking inspiration from international and kind of global filmmaking styles and techniques, because that's something that at KIFF we're so proud to kind of promote. I know that you spent a year in Hong Kong teaching drama and English, and I'm sure everyone will be really interested to kind of know what your thoughts are on the importance of kind of international filmmaking and what maybe your experiences were teaching and kind of observing the passion for drama abroad.
Yeah, so Hong Kong was an interesting place because I grew up watching a lot of Hong Kong films, Wong Kar-wai, John Woo, all these, like, I grew up watching Jackie Chan, Jet Li, all those. So I have this close affiliation with Hong Kong. My family aren't from there, they're from Singapore and Malaysia, but I speak Cantonese. But Hong Kong was like the Asia Hollywood for me, and I wanted to go and explore that. So after I graduated from drama school, I was like, let me go explore, see the world. So I decided to go teach English and drama there for a year. And it helped me grow as a person, helped me grow as a man as well. As a young kid growing up in London and being in London the whole entire time, I had to go and, you know, experience life by myself and, you know, look after young kids, look after young participants and help them through their journey.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. It's so good to hear your kind of experiences abroad and hearing about that. And that's exactly what we want to kind of encourage people from all around the world to do, is to, you know, find what they enjoy and submit that to kind of our platform. You are, on the subject of our platform, one of the newest members of our awards jury, so that means you'll be kind of watching the submissions
as of 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago. So yeah, new signing today.
Happy.
Yeah, and we're very proud to kind of have you on board. What's your message, if you have one, kind of to anyone who's maybe kind of considering submitting, anyone who has submitted, or anyone who wants to kind of create in the future? What would you like to see from their work?
Well, I would say, if you're going to create anything, if you want to be a filmmaker, if you want to be an actor, just pick up the camera or open your laptop and start writing. I think that's really important that you start doing that, because you're not going to get anywhere in life theorizing or saying, I'm going to do it, but then not actually doing it. You have to put pen to paper, you have to put hand to camera and start filming. Film something, film a pigeon flying around for a day. I don't know. Yeah. Like, do something, tell a story, whether it's 30 seconds or it's a minute or if it's 10 minutes. If it's you just looking at the camera and you're just delivering a monologue to the camera, do that. I'm starting to think, how can I make and create and start developing things that I want to tell, because, you know, I've got stories I want to share, and that's the only way. Like, and that was a little advice that I got. I'm going to drop a name here. Jan Damage said to me, just tell a good story.
So you mentioned you've got your own stories to tell, and you're obviously an established actor. Would you like to maybe try your hand in kind of directing and a bit more producing in the future?
I do. In 5 years' time, I want to produce and direct, and I've sort of written the treatment, but yeah, I will do that. I've given myself like a 5-year timeline, because right now I'm just focusing on my acting, and I've got a couple of stories that I want to tell.
Nice.
For sure. So in 5 years' time, you're going to see something.
And we're very lucky to have you on board as part of the team. Another big name and someone we're very proud to have associated with the festival is Mike Newell. Yeah. You've met Mike. Talk to me about what that was like and what he is like as a person.
He was really nice. I think I said it to you when I first met him. I didn't know exactly who he was, and then I had to Google him, and I was like, I've seen. So he's got some cool films out, and I was like, he's got some really cool films. And Donnie Brasco being one of my favorite films, I felt like such an idiot, because he was talking through it when I first met him. He was talking to me, he was like, I did this film, and he said the word Donnie Brasco, but I didn't clock onto it, and he kept talking about it a bit more, and I went, oh my God, he's directed one of my favorite films and I forgot his name. Right. So I felt a bit like an idiot.
Yeah. Oh, that's
but good. It was fun. He was really lovely. And actually I was asking him a lot about that project and talking about my favorite scenes and how it was cinematically shot and just small nuances that he did. And yeah, I loved it. Yeah, he was a really nice guy. Yeah. Very humble.
So everyone's so kind of engaging and welcoming, and I think that really kind of shines through in the festival's kind of run up and the build up to it. Now, I want to ask you some questions just quickly about any upcoming projects. What can you tell us about any kind of new projects or films on the way?
Dungeons and Dragons is coming out next year, and that's what I can say about that.
Because
it's going to be cool. I had a great time shooting it, and it's a great story. It'll be fun. And then I just finished off an untitled Guy Ritchie film. They said it was called The Interpreter, but I think we're changing the title to that. And then it's with Jake Gyllenhaal and Dar Salim and Alexander Ludwig and Emily Beecham and Anthony Starr, and that's a whole special forces, and it's looking at interpreters in Afghanistan and their collaboration with special forces in the US and UK, and that dynamic between interpreters putting their life on their line, and having to go against the regime at the time. And what it actually means for families, and it's very telling because at the moment we're seeing that live on TV, and how these people are trying to leave Afghanistan, and how much they actually did for the Allied NATO forces whilst they were present, and it's looking at that humanistic element between two humans, but both sacrificing for their good of their countries,
Nice, wow. Well, I think we're all really looking forward to watching those projects when they come out.
Yeah.
That is brilliant. And finally, going back to kind of the festival itself.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to most during the kind of festival weekend?
I'm looking forward to seeing the films. I'm looking to see this area buzzing with young filmmakers, actors, whether you're making films or whether you're going to be an assistant director, whether you're going to be a cinematographer, an editor. Hopefully it's a community that can come together of young minds, young spirit, or old spirits and more experienced spirits coming around together and just watching something that we enjoy, which is film.
Sure.
Whether it's from India to Singapore to Malaysia to the US to Australia to central parts of Europe. I'm looking forward to watching and seeing their stories on the screen. And we've got some great places. I think we're by the canal, by the river.
By the river, yeah. By the river, yeah.
I do know what river and canal is. By the river, and it's an open door space, and having a few nice drinks in the summers. Hopefully in the summer somewhere it's not raining. Kingston, we don't get rain in Kingston. No.
Never,
so
never.
It'll be a nice community as well, and it really has that feel here already. And from even your questions and everything like that, and meeting yourself, it's lovely to be able to do that.
Thank you. So it's been fascinating to listen to all your stories today. We're all really looking forward to kind of working with you further, and we hope you enjoy the festival as much as we do, and as much as all of you do as well.
Well, I want to ask him a question, right? Because he wants to get into acting. We talked about drama school earlier. What is it about acting that you enjoy?
I think it's the storytelling.
Yeah.
It's the kind of sharing your own experiences with people who you would never kind of, in a normal conversation or in day-to-day life, you'd never get close to kind of scratching the surface of these stories.
Also, he's got a really interesting story, because I asked him how he joined onto KIFF. And so what attracted you to KIFF? Because I know why I did it. What attracted you to join this whole project?
I mean, for me, it's kind of, I read about it. I was kind of roped in by some amazing people who here are like so welcoming, and they kind of explained it to me. They explained what the festival offers for filmmakers. And then as an actor, I think it's so great to kind of watch short films and take inspiration from, projects that are from around the world. And then Kingston is just such a great location. It really is. You've got the Rose Theatre, you've got some like lovely kind of venues and locations. I kind of started presenting here very recently, and you just get to meet some really cool people. So I've loved it. I've loved every minute of it.
Because you're local from here, right? So
I live
Rose Theatre has always been.
I've been.
How's that been for you? Like growing up and having the Rose Theatre at your doorstep.
It's perfect. Honestly, it's such a nice venue. I've watched quite a few plays there. And I even performed there when I was kind of like younger. They have so many youth projects there, which I would really recommend any young actors to kind of look at. I've been local to Kingston my whole life, and in terms of like it being a creative hub, it's offers so much.
Such interesting what you say. Like I hear these stories when I always meet other actors who are way more established, and some people I look up as idols and icons. And I always ask them, I don't ask them about their successes because I can see that on TV and stuff. I like to ask them about their failures.
Yeah, and I suppose same to you. Any kind of times in your career where you've kind of thought you've had a setback or some kind of, whether it's, because I'm sure there are filmmakers, there are actors who will have, whether it's writer's block as a writer or kind of struggling to find inspiration. How do you kind of overcome that and also balance personal life? Have you got any tips for?
Well, personal life I'm still working on. That definitely is that's an ongoing
battle. Yeah, fair enough.
I think every actor I've asked, doesn't matter if it's someone who's won an Oscar to someone who's just starting out. Personal life is always one of the most challenging things, but you got to set your foundations and boundaries for that. And I'm still trying to work on that, creating that boundary. But for failures, it's just felt often. Like, don't be afraid of failure.
Pretty brilliant advice, I think. Thank you so much. Well, Jason, thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you today. And we look forward to all your future involvement in the festival. So thank you.
Thank you.
So don't forget to like this edition of KIFF and subscribe to our channel for more updates on all things Kingston International Film Festival. See you next time.